Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, which was spoken of through the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place, let the reader understand. So this is the holy place. So this is two things. It's a physical temple and the temple of the body. It's two things. And the holy teachings he began. We are told that towards the end of the world, Spider Woman will come back and she will weave a web across the landscape. I will play you this video that was posted on YouTube. Can a Terminator scenario happen? But before I do, let me explain a couple of things. In this video, you're going to see his arm and it's being scanned with a barcode. Just like you would do in a store, right? When you purchase something. And it tells you in the book of Revelation, and they will have no relief day or night, for they have worshipped the creature and his statue, and have been tattooed with the code of his name.
A means of authentication that you could simply wear on your skin every day for a week at a time, say an electronic tattoo. Well, a researcher at the University of Illinois, his name is Dr. Rogers, what he discovered is that he could use standard CMOS techniques to make islands of high-performance silicon connected by accordion-like structures that would allow it to stretch up to 200% and still be performing. And what he did is he founded a company and they started making electronic tattoos. So I'm wearing one here on my arm.
Do we have a camera to get a...
This is a developmental system made by MC10, and it has an antenna and some sensors embedded in it. And what we plan to do is work with them to advance a tattoo that could be used for authentication.
What they call the Internet of Bodies, connecting everything into the Internet of Bodies. And it tells you in the scriptures, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on his right hand or his forehead. And this is what Elon Musk just finished doing, the Neuralink. And there are other companies they're doing the same thing, by the way. For the ones that are saying how would this go on children, well, they have a liquid-based one. This is another thing that I want to clarify for you guys. There's no rapture. The rapture was invented by Freemasons. There is a gathering of his people. In that day, Adonai will extend his hand yet a second time to recover the remnants that remain of his people, better known as the second Exodus. As he led us out of Egypt, he will lead us out of Babylon. For I am with you to save you, declares Adonai. I will make a full end of all the nations among whom I scattered you. So he will be gathering his remnants and punishing these nations, for they will not go unpunished. And he will be gathering us from the four corners of the earth. You know that when we are gathered, we will be going to Mount Zion, right? And when we go to Mount Zion, there will be peace in our land. So how do you think that the fake state of Israel is the true Holy Lands? There has never been any peace there. And why will he gather people that never accepted his son in the first place? There's only one way to the Father, and it's through his son. So again, remember four corners. So when we broke covenant, our crown was removed from our head. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. And he put us into a sleep. Adonai has brought over you a deep sleep. He has sealed your eyes to prophets. He has covered your heads to seers. And we were sold to the best shepherd. I covered that teaching before. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Altar and St. Peter's. Like I said, we were sold to the best shepherd. Sheep asleep. And after us, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and your daughters will prophesy. Yes, that includes your daughters, guys. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions. So you see, the second coming is in spirit. So if you're looking for him to show up in the sky, it's in spirit. He's with us now. Because I started hearing from the Ruach in 2020. When he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth. The full moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth, as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit, shaken by a gale. The sky vanished like a scroll that is being rolled up, and every mountain and island were removed from its place. You ever wonder what it says the sky was being rolled up? I'm going to show you why in a minute. Then the kings of the earth and the great ones and the generals and the rich and the powerful and everyone, slaves and free, hid themselves in caves and among the rocks of the mountains, calling to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of their wrath have come. Who can stand? This is when the New Jerusalem comes down, when he's sitting on the throne next to his Father. But this is when everything is ended. And we're just in the beginning of the beast system. The sky will roll up like a scroll because we have a skynet over the earth. The fertility goddess, another name that she goes by, is Net, as a skynet. Moreover, no man knows when his hour will come, as fish are caught in a cruel net, or birds are taken in a snare. So men are trapped by evil times that have fallen unexpectedly upon them. Net, goddess in ancient Egypt. An ancient Egyptian goddess associated with war, hunting, and weaving. She was often depicted as a goddess of creation. Goddess Net was also known as a spinner and weaver of destiny, who was associated with the spider. So Nasa is a fishing basket, a snare, a fish trap, fisher men. Like the scripture says, a snare, a net. So I posted this video on YouTube under Mom on a Budget. It's all one demon. In it, I explained that the indigenous of the Americas is the northern kingdom and Judah is the southern kingdom. The siege of Jerusalem, Babylonian captivity. Jerusalem is in America. For the king of Babylon sits in America. And this beast system will be set up in America. And that's where America is going to fall. And there's even a Mount Zion and Utah. Because Utah is where our temple was, the Holy of Holies. For so it shall be in the middle of the earth, in the center of the nations. This is where my Zion is. This is where he dwells, the center of the earth, the middle of the earth. In Psalms, they lament over the destruction of Jerusalem by the hands of the Babylonians because they took over our temple. What is the center of the world? And is recognized by the UN nations as the center of the world. Located in the southeast corner of California, only a few miles away from Mexico and Arizona, is the center of the world. And remember how the scripture says that he will be collecting us from the four corners? Welcome to our Four Corners, USA. This is the Four Corners: Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico. And Utah was where our temple was at. So this is an original map, as you can see where Israel is at. This is the area that the Mormons took over. And I'm going to play for you in the video where this system is being set up where? In Utah. Because the system will be coming from the holy place, our holy temple. It's not the fake temple that they're building in the fake holy lands over there. Don't you know by now that they turned everything upside down?
Have you ever been shopping on something on Amazon and then you went to your Gmail and there's an ad for it? Right? Every time you like something, every picture you take and share, every time you click through something, everything you purchase, which credit card you use or if you use PayPal, is being recorded and tracked so people can figure out what to market to you. What Netflix knows about you. I know what you watch. I know when you watch it. I know when you start a series. I know if you finish a series. I know what you liked and didn't like because we put 3 stars, 5 stars. We actually put thumbs up, thumbs down. Big data. We have stockpiles of data. But we don't necessarily know how they're correlated, but we're saving it all. We're storing it all. All of these devices, even our cars, they have system logs. They can all produce data. Does anybody know the NSA is storing every communication, every cell phone conversation, every email you have in the $2 billion facility in Utah? The NSA is storing every communication, every cell phone conversation, every email you have in the $2 billion facility in Utah.
And also tells you in the book of Revelation, with 1,000 years end, Satan will be let out of his prison, and he will go to deceive the nations of the world and gather them together with Gog and Magog for a battle against God's children in Jerusalem. Gog and Magog are China and Russia, and both places have been hit by floods recently. So when we were to see this, we are to know that we need to run to the hills because it's about to go down. So I posted a video on YouTube of the Heavens of Light 2. Why are they attacked in California? And that is what's happening right now. So you might want to watch that. Also, I posted one with the hollow moon breaking down the matrix. The original moon was destroyed during Noah's flood. What we look in here is a hollow moon, a satellite. It's a honeycomb moon and it's a honeycomb earth. That's the Skynet. It connects everything. That's why in the book of Revelation 6, it tells you that the sky will roll up because it has a Skynet over it that connects everything to the internet of bodies. And it also tells you that in the New Jerusalem, there will be no sun, moon, or stars anymore. And also, there's a scripture that also tells you that the sun and the moon will not smite you by day or night. So they will not be in the New Jerusalem. There are principalities behind these things, the sun, moon, and the stars. That's why we're not supposed to worship them. And I also posted these videos, Stream in the Desert and the Siege of the Real Jerusalem. Back to Utah. Did this also tell you that the indigenous of America were led to the promised land, the Americas? And they are the Israelites, the ancient Israelites. Like I said, they took over a temple, the Siege of Jerusalem. And this happened recently. Salt Lake Temple renovations reaches new heights. As last of the tower spear structure is placed, more like the top of the pyramid, as you can see there, steel pyramid atop. The iconic house of the Lord. You should know by now that Lord is for bull. They finally put the top of the pyramid on the pyramid. But not just the top of the pyramid, but also the statue of the Angel Morori. Angel Morori statue returns to the top of the Salt Lake Temple, April 2nd, 2024. Gematria, Angel Moroni. Holies of Holies, I told you they took over our temple like the scripture says. Kingdom of Heaven, Rose of Christianers, the Prince of Peace. Illumination, New Currency, Matrix Reloaded. Abomination. As when you see the abomination of desolation standing where he ought not to be. Let the reader understand that let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains.
If you read like the plotline for Terminator, it's actually pretty smart. Like James Cameron wrote a pretty smart script there. It's like, well, how did Cyberdyne Systems develop?
Miles Bennett Dyson is the director of special projects at Cyberdyne Systems Corporation. In a few months, he creates a revolutionary type of microprocessor. In 3 years, Cyberdyne will become the largest supplier of military computer systems.
So its primary thing is to defend against cyber attacks.
This new computer virus is a tricky bastard. It's infected half of the civilian internet as well as secondary military apps.
So develop an AI that can defend against cyber attacks. Sounds pretty reasonable.
Sir, the Pentagon has proposed that we use our AI to scan the entire infrastructure, search and destroy for any hint of the virus. Well, once the connection's made, it should only be a matter of minutes.
The system goes online on August 4th, 1997. Becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th.
What the AI did is, in order to defend itself, it propagated throughout the world to keep an eye on things, see what was going on.
During which we put everything from satellites to missile silos under the control of a single computer system.
The most intelligent system ever conceived.
They didn't realize that it was Cyberdyne, that it was Skynet that was propagating through all these systems. And they said, okay, there seems to be something propagating through all these systems. Skynet, you need to stop it. You need to end it.
Skynet fully operational, processing at 60 teraflops a second.
Sir, it should take less than a minute to find the virus and kill it.
And Skynet said, oh, you've asked me to destroy myself. You are the enemy. You must be destroyed. That's how Terminator actually goes.
Judgment Day. The day the human race was nearly destroyed by the weapons they built to protect themselves.
Judgment Day is inevitable.
Have you ever been shopping on something on Amazon and then you went to your Gmail and there's an ad for it? Right? Every time you like something, every picture you take and share, every time you click through something, everything you purchase, which credit card you use or if you use PayPal, is being recorded and tracked so people can figure out what to market to you. What Netflix knows about you. I know what you watch. I know when you watch it. I know when you start a series. I know if you finish a series. I know what you liked and didn't like because we put 3 stars, 5 stars. We actually put thumbs up, thumbs down. Big data. We have stockpiles of data. But we don't necessarily know how they're correlated, but we're saving it all. We're storing it all. All of these devices, even our cars, they have system logs. They can all produce data. Does anybody know the NSA is storing every communication, every cell phone conversation, every email you have in the $2 billion facility in Utah? I swear I don't believe in aliens. I'm just telling you what's actually happening in the world. Artificial intelligence is what I'm here to talk about. This is taking all of that data. Data is the fuel of machine learning. How computers learn about what they're doing, what they need to do next, how they should act, how they can win games. So if my choices are already being selected and filtered, the news I choose to read, the routes I choose to drive, the movies that are being chosen for me, if my decisions are being based on what I read and experience, am I already living in an artificial intelligence world?
In about a couple of decades, but certainly within the lifetime of most of us here today, we're going to see an artificial general intelligence, one that has the capacity of all of us combined. And that will be like sharing the planet with a new life form. A couple of years ago, an amazing thing happened in the field of game playing, which is a subpart of artificial intelligence. A program called AlphaGo. And AlphaGo was given all of the accumulated knowledge about Go. Go is computationally far more difficult than chess, and people thought, no way can an artificial intelligence take on a human. This is one of the things that only we can do. And lo and behold, the artificial intelligence beat the human. After thousands of years of playing the game, humans had never even considered it was like playing with an alien.
But given how valuable intelligence and automation are, we will continue to improve our technology if we are all able to. What could stop us from doing this? How bad it would have to be to prevent us from making improvements in our technology permanently. And at a certain point, we will build machines that are smarter than we are. And once we have machines that are smarter than we are, they will begin to improve themselves.
We don't program the machines, they learn by themselves.
So we want to do this. I mean, we have problems that we desperately need to solve. Then we have to admit that we're in the process of building some sort of God. Now would be a good time to make sure it's a God we can live with.
Jesus. New technology brings great promise, but also great disruption.
We're familiar with drones, but the actual button that says I should drop this bomb, it still has human intervention. They're now trying to prevent those going to the mind of a computer. Say, well, I see an intruder, I should shoot this person. Strange thing is, you know who leads in the development of autonomous weapon systems? The United States. Do you know who then is following suit because we've led the charge? China, Russia. Language creation. So they had AI bots actually talk to each other and chat to each other. They started talking in their own language. They were still using English, but then they started to use their own manipulation of English to actually make it faster to talk to each other.
And if we build machines that are more intelligent than we are, they will very likely explore the spectrum in ways that we can't imagine and exceed us in ways that we can't imagine.
The AI train isn't going to stop at the human station. It's going barreling right through to a destination that we cannot even understand. What we don't get to do is choose not to have the technology. Once it's invented, it stays invented. You cannot put the genie back in the bottle.
If intelligence is just a matter of information processing, and we continue to improve our machines, we will produce some form of superintelligence. We will build machines that are so much more competent than we are that the slightest divergence between their goals and our own could destroy us.
It is your destiny.